Resistance isn't a no. If you're feeling a sudden, heavy resistance, the moment you decided to level up, you are close. You need to understand that's not a no from God. It's a panic attack from the enemy. I'll be honest with you, most people quit right there, right at the threshold of their breakthrough, simply because the pressure got too high. They think that if we're in alignment, everything will go smooth, but that's not the case. I believe the greater the assignment, the louder the opposition. And here's the spiritual discernment that you need. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition on targets that don't matter. If there's nothing in you worth stopping, you're making it easy for him. And that sudden cloud of depression, that random technical failure, those money problems, that unexplained friction in your house, that's not random at all. It's a technical strike designed to make you retreat. When you feel that pushback, don't question your calling. Stand 10 toes down and double down on your obedience. Because that resistance is confirmation that you are finally heading into the right direction. Don't fold, not yet.
If everything is easy in life, if everyone loves what you're going to do, and you have no enemies, you have no opposition, nothing to resist, you're just going to be mush. You're not going to amount to anything. You're not going to be able to push yourself. You're not going to be able to change, evolve. Muhammad Ali said, if I didn't have Joe Frazier around, I would not have become the great boxer that I am. I mean, he would have been a great boxer anyway, but a nemesis like Joe Frazier put me on a much higher level.
The resistance that you're facing right now is actually growth, and this is why. Let's get into it, family. First off, understand that when you're stepping into a new version of yourself and you're feeling that tension, that resistance, that's literally a direct indicator from your body letting you know that it's letting go of that old version of you. But your body, on the other hand, has been holding on to that old version of you for so long. So now that you're trying to change your life, you're going to be receiving the pushback from that old identity, from that old way of living. Because in contrast, when you're not actually growing, you don't feel that resistance and tension. You're just comfortable living complacent with where you are in your life. So the very fact that you are experiencing resistance and tension during your shift is a direct indicator that you are growing.
You know that resistance isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong, right? It quite literally is the sign that you're doing everything right, and this is why. So resistance is literally just a sign that your body is uncomfortable with what you're telling it, because it's, guess what? It's not the normal, okay? In the conscious mind, it's meant to protect you. So when it sees something, it's like a threat because it's not normal. It tries to protect you with resistance. And a lot of you guys will take this as a bad sign, but this means that what you're saying is going where it needs to go because it's making your body uncomfortable. And that literally should flip a light bulb. Resistance is a good sign. Now, once you get met with resistance, that's where, it starts to get hard for a lot of you guys. That, guess what? All you need to do is keep doing what got you the resistance, because guess what? It is working. A lot of you guys will ruin your manifestation because you will see resistance and they'll be like, man, it's not working. I need to change my affirmation. I need to change my... No. Do what got you the resistance, because the resistance is just showing that it's taking something in that's a foreign body. It's unfamiliar, which is, again, your affirmation, which is just your thoughts. So keep thinking what got you the resistance and don't deny it until, guess what? It's your new normal. That is when it's going to manifest in your reality. Now that you know about resistance, lock in.
If no one ever criticizes you, you're not doing anything worth noticing. If no one ever disagrees with you, you're not making an impact. Pressure only builds around people who are moving forward. Resistance only shows up when you're headed somewhere others aren't. If someone tries to block you, it means you're on a path they wish they had the courage to take. Opposition is not a sign to stop. It's a confirmation you're rising.
Resistance is this negative force of self-sabotage that will work against us anytime we try to move from a lower level to a higher level, ethically, morally, creatively. I call it resistance with a capital R, and a voice will come into your head that will say, you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you don't have enough education, you have too much education, etc., etc. And once I could sort of give a name to it, then I could say, okay, now I have something I can deal with. How can I overcome this?
Well, the first step seems to be disassociating your identity from the resistance itself.
That's a great way of putting it, Rich.
Right?
In fact, I've never heard that before. That's exactly it. When we hear this voice in our head, we think it's our own thoughts. We think, oh, that's me assessing the situation objectively, but it's not. And once we can say, oh, that's not me, that kind of is the key to the whole thing.
Listen, y'all need to begin to change the way that you interpret resistance. So many of you, when God has you on a certain journey, going down a certain path, and you feel the pressure, you feel the resistance, you take it as a sign to stop and to go backward and to go back to what you're familiar with. And this is exactly what the enemy wants you to do. Understand there's never going to be pressure or resistance in a place where there's no growth, no power, or no breakthrough on the other side. Resistance does not mean stop. Resistance actually means that you're on the edge of your next level. What's happening is your brain is starting to panic because it's unfamiliar, not because it's wrong. You're dealing with that initial adjustment shock, and it's shocking your nervous system because you're not used to this. It's different to you. So listen, when you feel that resistance, embrace it and begin to lean in and understand that the discomfort is the doorway. The pressure is the signal. The fear is the compass. The fear that you keep on running from is actually the thing that God is using to summon you to go forward. Listen, the very fact that there's resistance and the very fact that you're getting pushed back actually means it's pointing you forward.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We put so much stuff in our brain gets overloaded, so it wants to choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
The universe doesn't give you what you ask for. What it does is it creates these series of events in your life that creates a reaction and triggers you and brings up a block in you. And that block is there because that is the thing that you have to work through to be able to get the thing that you asked for. It's not that the universe said no. It's just that it wants you to actually enjoy what it is that is on the way. And so it's time for us to evolve. It's time for us to name that pain. It's time for us to see the blockage, and it's time for us to give it grace and to work through it.
Learn to resist nothing and accept everything. Resistance is the cause of your pain. Resistance is the cause of your suffering. Resistance is a product of the mind. It is a product of the voice in your head. It is the product of the ego, the pain body, the identity entity, the separate self, as Rupert Spira calls it. Acceptance is that of the soul. It is that of awareness. It is that of consciousness. Imagine the space of a room. That is the same space that is within you. That is the same space that you use to become aware of your breath, become aware of your five senses when you meditate. That is the same space that is outside and is in the entire universe as it were inside to the little microscopic cell. Is the same space. You are space. And the thing about space is that the space of a room doesn't inhibit someone from entering. It doesn't inhibit someone from leaving. It just allows whatever is to be. That is the same thing awareness is, and that is the same thing awareness will do whenever anything in your external world happens. The real you doesn't look at it as it's good or bad. It just looks at it as it is. The resistance comes from the mind, which only looks at life in duality.
Let me give you a piece of advice that will probably change your life. The more you feel resistance in your heart to doing something is not a sign that you should probably avoid that thing. The resistance is actually something called procrastination. And from a human evolutionary standpoint, your mind only wants to procrastinate things if they're probably going to change your life, because your mind is terrified of change. Your mind associates change with danger, so it would rather keep you in familiar territory, even if the familiar territory is not what's best for you. So here's a pro tip. The more you feel resistance in your heart to doing something, the more there's something kind of holding you back. That is not a signal to avoid doing that thing or avoid taking the leap. That is the exact signal from the human DNA telling you, if you do this thing, things in your life will change. And that's usually a good thing.
It is an unwritten rule of life that after every prolonged period of hardship and uncertainty, there is going to be a period where you achieve quantum leaps across multiple areas of your life. The only requirement is that you do not give up on yourself.
Failure and success are on the same road. It's just that failure is an earlier exit.
Whatever you do, don't be the guy who gives up at the exact moment when you should be fighting with everything you have. You'll make it through either way, but there's only one way you'll look back and be proud of yourself.
This is the meta frame of the story that we one day tell. I would like to be known to myself as a fighter, is that I'm willing to fight for what I want and for what I believe in.
The most powerful sign that you're on the right path is not a good feeling. It's what's called soul friction. Let me explain. Soul friction, or also called resistance with a capital R, is a concept created by Steven Pressfield, the author of The War of Art. The essence of this concept is captured by this quote: the more important an activity is to your soul's evolution, the more resistance you will feel to it. I'm a firm believer in this concept because I can see it in myself. So many people won't even attempt to achieve their dreams. It's so important to them that they don't even want to conceive the concept of them failing, so they never even start. Next time you feel lost and you're debating on which path to go down the one that feels the hardest. That's where your soul will grow the most.
Every time you try to change, resistance shows up, and most people believe that this means that they're doing something wrong. But in reality, resistance isn't a stop sign. It's a signal. It shows up when we're trying to leave our comfort zone and when we're asking ourselves to do something we've never done before. So without resistance, there's no growth. So when resistance appears, don't fight it. Don't negotiate with it. Just move anyways.
What the enemy intended to use to wear you out, listen to this, God is using to build endurance in you, because strength is not developed in comfort. I hope you hear me this morning. I said your strength is not developed in comfort. It's developed when the pressure is on you. It's developed when resistance is about you. Resistance is what produces capacity. Everything that you've been going through has been conditioning you to where God is wanting to take you.
The warfare is proof that you're at the gate. The enemy doesn't waste his energy on people who are standing still. The resistance you're feeling, the frustration, the pressure, the temptation to quit, maybe it's not proof that you're losing. Maybe it's proof that you're closer than you've ever been. Most people turn around right before the breakthrough. So don't be one of them. The battle isn't always a sign to retreat. Sometimes it's proof you're standing at the very gate God is about to open.
For those of you trying to manifest or attract a bigger, brighter future than you have right now, have you hit a wall? Are you feeling some resistance right now? Don't let that stop you. That means you are on track. You're doing the right things. When you work out, how do you become stronger? Resistance, right? The more weight you lift, the more strenuous activity you do, the more you gain momentum and the stronger you get. The same is true as you try to manifest and attract the life of your dreams. You're going to get resistance.
Next level in your life you're about to go to, the people that you used to reach out to, they're going to start reaching out to you. But here's what I want you to understand, that any time in my life before I went to the next level, I always had a breakdown before I had a breakthrough. See, what I learned is that in life, in your breakdown, there's some lessons there that will allow you to break through. See, sometimes we're just so frustrated about, man, my bank account's not where I wanted to be. Man, my relationships aren't where I wanted to be. But I want you to start thinking about, man, what is the lesson? What is the lesson that I haven't picked up? What is the lesson that I need to pick up? What is the lesson that's staring me right in the face? And if I can get out of where I'm sitting, you know, sometimes you can't see the picture because you're in the frame. So I need you to step back and I need you to look at the breakdown. And I need you to embrace the breakdown. There were some times in my life where I literally cried and I was like, man, this sucks. I cry, I wipe myself off and I say, okay, what's the lesson so I can get the key to that door over there and it helped me turn my breakdown into breakthrough. So if you're broken down right now, if you're having some challenges right now, what I need you to say is, look, let me stop, let me process this, let me take the lesson, let me look and get the breakdown, let me get the lessons from it. That's the key to your breakthrough.
One of the biggest things that I realized by looking around in nature is that nothing around us is fighting to grow. And one of the biggest lies we were ever told is that we have to grind to get what we want, but it's actually completely opposite in order to attract everything that you desire in this lifetime. When I stopped fighting my goals, when I stopped waking up every single day and feeling like I had to do something, feeling like I had to push myself past my limits to get it, was when I actually received everything around me because I was out of resistance. And one thing that I learned about resistance is fight, grind, all of these cultures that we were taught is actually resistance cloaked. It's the biggest facade we've ever been told, because a lot of times we think that we have to fight to get these things, but when you're out of resistance is when those things actually come to you. When I stopped fighting, I realized that everything that I wanted in my life actually came on the premise of me not even looking for it, me not even fighting to get it. It actually came when I wasn't even looking to begin with, when I wasn't fighting to begin with. When I allowed myself to be in the moment, when I allowed myself to have the things that I have right now in order to attract the things that I desired and wanted. The less you fight is the more you have, because resistance always shows up in the form of fighting. You have to fight to get somebody to be in your life. You have to fight to have these things in your life. The moment you stop fighting is the moment that you attract. The moment that you realize that once you get out of resistance, everything that you desire comes to you tenfold.
God is going to test you when you are closest to your breakthrough. You've probably noticed by now, the more you try to get your life together, the more that you try to follow God, and the more you try to follow this path that He has put out for you, the more challenges then arise. That is not a coincidence. It is a test to see which is stronger within you, your faith or your frustration. See, if you just simply look around, most people quit when it gets the hardest. But sadly, what they'll never realize is that was the closest they're ever going to get to their breakthrough. You see, God is not testing you to break you down. God is testing your patience. God is testing your obedience. Because if you do not have these things in order, if he gives you certain blessings, they are going to end up hurting you more than strengthening you. This is also a testing phase to see what you cling on to more. Do you cling on to the challenges of the world and constantly complain about your situation? Or do you look at your situation and you thank God for the challenges and cling closer to him? See, every single time something hard happens in your life, your immediate reaction is to look up to God and ask, why me? But what we don't hear and what we don't know is that God is responding to us and saying that he is building something right now that we cannot see. The last thing God wants you to do is give up at the last mile, because just around the corner is your breakthrough.